So then, what is this ragtag group of misfits I see before me? Avalanche!
Local florist.
Lab rat dog.
We should have gotten Red XIII a while back, but here he is, over 2 weeks late. First up, his Trustmaster reward and Super Trustmaster reward were both known for providing copious amounts of attack, so I'd definitely consider getting them if you don't have much in the way of powerful accessories. I considered getting 3 Seraph Combs in the past, though I don't use them that often ever since I got Ravenheart. Anyways, let's go over his old abilities. Red XIII was a Stardust Ray Chainer who can use fire, wind, and dark attacks, making him a versatile chaining partner. He was never really a powerful character, since he wasn't released at a very good time. He did have some interesting abilities, like Lunatic High, which raised your team's limit burst gauge fill rate and gave them the ability to dodge an attack. He was also fancy enough to have a 150% killer against 3 different species, which he really needed just to get his attack to decent levels. Of course, excellent players could make proper use of Red XIII, but that's in the past, so let's focus on the present. With his Neo Vision, Red XIII gains a grand total of 3 Neo abilities in his standard form. High Speed Fang is a strong Stardust Ray attack that lets Red XIII dodge a grand total of 10 attacks. And it's on an active ability that does chaining, so you can't really say that there are better abilities to use. Killer Rave is another Stardust Ray chaining ability that gives a massive killer boost against beasts, demons, and undeads, because Red XIII totally needed it. Jokes aside, he actually does. Lunatic Burst can only be used once per battle. It increases his attack by 300% for 5 turns, lets him triple cast, and pokes the enemy with a fire attack. He received a new passive that gave him a push towards single wielding, and his previous abilities have gotten a significant boost as well. His limit burst got stronger, though not to a significant extent. Still, it could see some use if players lose Red XIII's triple cast midway through the battle. Now to change his pose. I don't know why that looks cooler. Maybe it's because it gives him a bit more life, some animalistic qualities that just don't fit when he's staring face forward like every other human sprite. Anyways, his Brave Shift gives him a grand total of 4 abilities, and one of them is already available in his regular form. Speaking of which, his Brave Shift isn't even available until turn 4, so you're going to have to spend some time in that first sprite. It also lasts for 3 turns, where you'll revert back and you'll be forced to wait for another 3 turns before you can change his stance again. Well, let's go over his abilities. Howling Flame is a fire Stardust Ray attack. Stardust Fire can only be used once per battle. It's basically a powerful fire Stardust Ray attack. Crimson Roar is the same fire Stardust Ray attack, though it fills his limit burst gauge by half its max capacity. Speaking of which, his limit burst is an extremely powerful finishing blow that decreases the enemy's fire resistance by 120%. Tacks on the fire element to Red XIII's attacks, increases his attack by 300%, and lets him triple cast, which isn't even available in his Brave Shift moveset. His passive killer boosts have doubled in amount, and he's gained a boost to his limit burst damage. Well, time to make a rotation. Use Lunatic Burst, Blaze Charge, and Flare Fangs. On turn 2, dual cast Killer Rave and use High Speed Fang. On turn 3, do the same thing. On turn 4, his Brave Shift is available. But wait, so is a cooldown ability that raises his limit burst damage. Use Flare Fangs, Killer Rave, and Spirit of Seto. On turn 5, switch his stance and use his limit burst. On turn 6, dual cast Crimson Roar to fill up his limit burst and use Stardust Fire. On turn 7, cast his limit burst once again. After this, you'll be thrown back into his regular form, so dual cast Killer Rave and use High Speed Fang. On turn 9, cast Flare Fangs, Killer Rave, and High Speed Fang. On turn 10, cast Killer Rave, High Speed Fang, and Spirit of Seto. From here, switch forms and do the dance with his limit burst that we've done before. Since you can't use Stardust Fire, replace it with Howling Flame. Red XIII isn't the strongest character ever. He's a limit burst finisher like Tifa, but doesn't match her damage output at all. Furthermore, due to the nature of his Brave Shift, he's not as fast as her either, which is funny as he is a quadruped. Well, I guess turtles are quadrupeds too. In the end, he's a better pick than Cloud or Veritas of the Dark if you want to use a chainer. Don't underestimate his damage against beasts, demons, and undeads though. If left unchecked, he could potentially tear them to shreds. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you've already gotten Red XIII's Neo Vision form. I have him at the doorstep myself. I just need 25 of his shards to fall into my lap.